We're back, people, and today we're breaking down film on Brashard Smith, SMU running back. He's one of the most exciting prospects to watch in this class. Former receiver, like transferred from University of Miami, and then went to SMU and played running back and had an amazing season. Super productive. His explosive traits, like his movement skills, are really, really special with the combination of acceleration, change of direction, like can really cut on a dime, and continuous acceleration, like especially at like curvilinear angles. It's very, very impressive. Some good contact balance. He's not the biggest back, but he's a guy that I see as a really good complementary guy at the next level. And then obviously he's a former receiver. He can be a very, very nice receiving back for you and just creates explosive plays very consistently at a high level. He can, I think, work in different types of scheme, and he's also just like a guy that's new to the position, so like he can continue to grow and then also just be a receiving threat. Very, very nice to see that stuff. And there's backs like him like every year in the draft that have like his sort of build, and they're like known for being like those elusive, explosive backs, but they're all like, a lot of times you see him as like those really hard, like one cut dead leg type of runners, and that doesn't always translate perfectly to the next level, but like his movement skills I think really translate because he stays like under control like this. Like here, start of this play, good, solid vision, just following up on his block, sets us up, presses up into here. They're working some trap action. He presses up into here. Now he's working off 74. By him pressing, he gets this safety to commit and then cut to this angle. And now he's able to accelerate past them. And then look at these cuts that he's making. It's not like over exaggerated. There's no like a lot of times right here, these guys make these hard dead legs where they super extend to the outside. He doesn't need to do that to make like this extended cut. Like he makes a very violent cut without like going too far outside of his frame. It's just very quick. And he does it again. Just very smooth movement down the field. Just makes these cuts look effortless, but it's like changing direction very, very fast. And he doesn't lose his speed out of it. Like here's another good example of it. One, good feet in the backfield, another good job. He likes the gap scheme stuff. Like another example of trap here, working off the back of 51, pressing up into it, similar thing, and then finds the cutback lane, works off the back of the offensive lineman. Pretty good feel for a guy that's, relatively new to the position. And then love the footwork here. So like the feet, boom, 2 feet on the ground, get back out, don't waste too much time. And then look at this acceleration right there. A lot of guys, when they have to make this sort of cut and work at this curvilinear movement, they're still working on the field, but they're going at like this curvature in a line. A lot of them lose acceleration. Smith doesn't lose like any acceleration. Like, look at him gain this speed. A lot of guys going here are going to get caught at an angle, but he's got that extra gear, doesn't get caught, gets into the end zone. Really, really love the explosive traits, man. They just really, really, they really translate to what you need at the NFL, because a lot of guys can get away with some of the moves they do in college, but it doesn't always translate perfectly. I think Smith is the type of guy that you see have a really, really special plays. And then he's just a guy that can be a receiver, can do some work. Now here we get some, split zone action, working, kind of like reading down. 40 kind of gets washed. He sees this hole open up, sees 51's going to go, so he knows he's got this lane here. Accelerate through, work through contact, which I love to see this, because he is not the biggest back. He's like 5'9", 5'10", 195-ish, so he's not like tiny, but he's on the below average side of things. But look at him work through contact, brace for it, get low, get skinny, stay on his feet, and then able to accelerate, make a nice play out there to pick up extra yards on a play that probably should only been like a 4-yard gain. He gets over 30. Just really impressive. And then he does stuff like this. I think feels more comfortable on these gap scheme runs because he does a good job of staying square and patient. So he's staying square here. He's working with 75 on this counter action. And look at him just shuffle, staying square, patient, allowing the blocks to develop. Once he does that, he flashes to the outside here, gets 11 and 7 to commit to the outside. Then boom, cut to the inside, make another cut in space. Great spin move, double spin move, work through contact. Does fumble there, but he does get it back, which shows to me like, hey, he needs to tuck the ball a little bit better, but also just like some just natural athleticism to refine that ball in the air. That's just a football play, man. Really, really love that type of stuff. And then he does a good job on inside zone. I think that the gap scheme stuff inside zone, like he can get downhill in a hurry, is more of a in between the tackle runners than you would think for like a super athletic guy. But just like quick decisions, identify the instant pressure, make the cut to find the hole, get back up field, run through some arm tackles, don't go down easily. This time, you see him protect the ball, get skinny, brace for contact, work through that contact, still stay on his feet, fall forward. That's an extra, about 10 yards after contact that, probably shouldn't have gone. Really like to see that. And then you get to see him here he can be just a huge mismatch as a receiver. Because one, you can match him up on linebackers out of the backfield, but he can also just straight up go out in the slot. And he even has potential to like beat DBs, but like you're gonna get him aligned on linebackers, you're gonna get him aligned on like safeties or nickels, and he can still potentially like create plays because he is a former receiver. Here, look at him just like look how he sets up this route, gives a little like raise in your pad level like you might break, and then he gives a slight hesitation, and then boom, accelerate pass on the slot fade, and then make the adjustment to the back shoulder, catch the ball. Really, really nice stuff. You'll see it better from this angle, making that adjustment, and then catch the ball with his hands in a tight quarters, contested because he created separation, but ball was thrown a little bit late, a little to the inside of where he wanted to catch it, and he just makes a really nice adjustment. And this is a running back, man. These running backs are rare to find. I think he has if you watched Tony Pollard when he came out of college, I think he has some Tony Pollard to his game, and Pollard was a running back / receiver type as well, and Pollard's found pretty solid success in the NFL, and I think I kind of see that for Smith, especially more on the high end of things. But I think he can be really nice complementary like Pollard was early on in his career, and then maybe take over as a guy as the things develop. But just hitting holes, finding lanes, knows how to work off his blocks. Love the, they're running some more counter stuff. They pull 71 through. They're down blocking over here. Smith is able to take it from the same side and then still work back up. Because look at him just press up into that, get the linebacker to commit, and then point the toe, point the knee to this side, work off his blocks. Very efficient footwork in the backfield. Look at him just chain all his moves together. He can change directions really well, and it's very little wasted movements at times, but also just it's a combination of athletic traits that are just so impressive. With the acceleration, the ability to cut, maintain his speed on those cuts, and also just smooth footwork, especially working within. Because you see the acceleration and the hard cuts when he gets out in space, but you see the really clean footwork near the line when he has to be super efficient, quicker feet, working within the box, those types of things. And he has that ability to be just a huge home run threat. So I'm a big Brashard Smith fan in this class. Pretty good running back class. I don't know where he'll go. Imagine he's probably maybe an early day 3 player, maybe late day 2 player, but someone's gonna get a fun weapon out of the kid out of SMU. So if you guys are new, comment, subscribe, psych, I lied. Just wanted to say one more thing about Smith because I didn't go too much into the receiving type of things, but there's people in the end of running backs in all these versatile weapons that with these running backs that are basically receiving weapons. It's so valuable in today's NFL. Looking at players like Devon Achane and the threat that he was for Miami, I could see Brashard Smith be that for a team if some team really commits to him like that. And it's very rare. It's becoming more and more more and more of a thing in the NFL, but it's still very rare for running backs to have true receiving skills where they can make plays down the field while also still being a running back threat. This past year, we see Tracy come into the NFL, and Tracy was doing mostly running back stuff, but he was a former receiver. These guys are becoming more and more common. I think Smith is the next one in long line of those things. So if you guys are comment,